Okay, welcome back. We're here on the next module, module 3, and this is a wealthy moment, and thank you for moving along with the program. And now you've gone through the map, you know how to use the map, and you're experiencing wealthy moments. Look out for them. They'll be coming in all circumstances, through people. Just use your eyes, your ears, use your senses. You're going to be experiencing many, many wealthy moments. And be excited about it. All right, be excited about it. Stay plugged into your map. Use your map, and we're going to break it down and let you get the full insight on how to get started. We're going to give you the fundamentals. That's what these modules are. They're the fundamentals. So you go through this, and then from here, of course, you're going to make the map your own, right? But these are the fundamentals, to lead you in the right path as you're using the map, right? So we're going to get into it. This is the third module, module number 3, and this module is how to properly set goals. All right, how to properly set goals. So when you're using a map book, how you're writing down the stuff in your map book matters, right? Because we want to make sure that as you're a part of the Create Wealth Network, and as a wealth creator, you are creating the wealth that you want to this, and you have been written down, you so desire, and it is coming to you. Right? So how to properly set goals, we want to make sure that, when you're setting the goals, you're setting the right goals and you're setting them the right way. That way, we know for sure if you follow this process, then you're going to see the progression, that's happening with you using the map book. All right. So I want you to look at this picture. What do you see? What's the first thing you see as you look at this picture? Okay. So right now we're getting a little into it. So now you're probably even giving it more detail. So you could even say, oh, those are some beautiful flowers, or look at that glass house in the back, and look at those stone steps. But as you first seen it, be honest, you've seen that line, and you're like, oh wow, what a nice line, right? Now, but even with all the other things in here, they all the same principles apply, which I'm sharing right now. But let's talk about the lawn in particular, okay? So the lawn looks really nice, but does it just gonna stay like that? If we leave this lawn like this over time, is it just gonna stay like that? No, it's not gonna stay like that. There's a potential that the lawn could get like this, right? And how does it get like this? It gets like this, because it's not actually being used like frequently. And what's not being used? What's not being used? The tools to maintain this line. Right? You need the tools to maintain the line and keep the line looking this way. Right? And yes, I'm relating it to the map book, as the map book is a tool for creating wealth. So look at this line as wealth. And the tools, we see the tools here, right? As these tools are used, right, and they're used properly, this line is gonna remain how it looks. But if they're used improperly, then it could look like this, right? So we want to use the tool, we want to use the map book properly, okay? And not only in terms of using it properly, like if we're talking, what if that lawnmower, because the tools are there, but what if that lawnmower was used to lawn mow the leaves that fall off the trees? That's not the right use of that tool, right? That's for the leaf blower, as we see that, right? That's for the leaf blower. But what if the leaf blower was just over the grass and just blowing the grass how it is right now? It's not the right use, right? So we want to use the tools, but we want to use the tools properly, all right? And with the map book, it is important that when you are setting your goals in the map book, that you set them correctly. Firstly, writing your goals is very important. Once it is transferred from your mind onto paper, your goal now becomes real. Writing your goal down and writing them correctly go hand in hand. Have a clear mind. It is important that when you're writing your goals, you are writing them down with a clear mind, especially your larger goals. All right, so take some time and have a clear mind, be in a right mental state. when you're writing your goals. Having a clear mind allows you to tap into your higher intelligence, as if your thoughts are being sent to you. You already know what needs to be done next. You just need to open your mind and wait for the thought to be delivered to you. So SMART goals, these acronyms are known to most people, and some of the letters are different to others, but overall, they provide you with a framework of how to set your goals. When setting a goal, try your best to have them meet this criteria, the SMART criteria. Specific. Is it specific enough that I cannot confuse it with anything else? Measurable. You can determine exactly once this goal is completed by its measure. Attainable. Is it something you believe that can be done? And only you believe. That's all it's needed. As long as you can believe it could be done, it can be done. But do you believe it can be done? Realistic. All goals are realistic as long as we can think it, but can it be done within the allocated time frame? This is something that only you can determine. And then we have timely. When is it going to happen? So specific. When writing a goal, it is important that it is not vague to where you were to read it, it could be mistaken for something else. So incorrect. I am going to have the biggest business in the world. By saying biggest, is it the biggest location? Is it the biggest in terms of financial? Right? Correct. Produce over 1 million sales this year for my business. You know exactly what you want to achieve. So incorrect. Eat healthy this week. Does healthy mean only eat vegan, or does it mean have all food groups in your meal? So the correct one, do not eat any beef this week. It is clear that you will eat anything except for the specific food beef, right? So that's specific. Measurable. When you set goals, it is always good to include a number within the goal so that there is an absolute measure as to whether the goal is completed or not. Incorrect. I will spend more time with my family this week. How much is more time? How do you know if this goal is completed? So correct. I will take my family out to eat 2 times this week. This can actually be calculated, and once it is completed. Incorrect. I will cut down my junk food this month. What does cut down mean? How do you know whether or not you cut down? Correct. I will only have junk food 2 times this week. If you have junk food more than 2 times, you know the goal has not been completed. So measure, as you see, we have a number in there and allows you to provide measure. Attainable. When you set goals, you set it to check mark them. Write your goals so that at some point in time, they will be attained. If it is not attainable in your mind, there is no point in writing it down. So as we use the map book, we went through in the wealthy moments, we see where we want to be addicted to check marks. So when you write your goals in your wealthy moments to where you will attain them and you will get that check mark. So incorrect. I am going to swim from Canada to Europe in a day. It's not, hey, maybe years from now, but right now, sorry about that. Right now, it's not attainable, right? So correct. I'm going to travel from Canada to Europe by boat. Incorrect. If you are 200 pounds, I'm going to weigh 100 pounds next week. Well, I know there's like lipo surgery and all that, that's that may make that attainable. But if you're working out, it's not really attainable, right? It will take time for you to get there, yes. But in a week, hey, who's to say, right? But a correct way to put it, I'm going to weigh 190 pounds this week, right? So, yeah, you could get to that 100, but have it in the smaller increments. You know, you're making it attainable. You're getting those check marks. You're building that confidence. All right. Realistic. Only you can determine what is a realistic goal. There are few things that you can do to solidify your belief. Okay. And brainstorming. What are the options that you have to make this goal to be attained? The more you think about it, the more ideas will come to mind, giving you options to getting the goal done and knowing you can, right? So get involved with brainstorming, doing research. Doing research allows you to dive into the particular goal and you can see if it has been done before. And if so, what steps were taken to make it happen, right? And can it be broken down? This is the most important aspect in making it more believable to you, that the particular goal can be done. If you can think of how you can break that goal down into smaller tasks, it will make the larger ones more realistic. So timely. You want to always set a due date to your goals. A due date is not the same as a time period. So incorrect. I will clean my car later. Another incorrect. I will enroll in a new course when I get some time. Right? There's no due date, right? So incorrect. By the end of the year, I will clean my office. You know, yeah, we know the end of the year, but it's not timely, right? You're pushing it off. Incorrect. I will join that program when my money gets right. Another incorrect, right? So when does your money get right? What determines that, right? So you want to set a due date. You want to have a date. So correct. My office is clean before November 1st, right? We have a date there. Or even if it's a goal that you want to get done before a certain time, I'll be done this goal by 10 p.m. Right? So that makes it timely, you know. And the good thing, when right now you're plugged in, you enrolled in the map, right? And when using the map book as your tool, you know, the timely aspect is done for you. All right. We have it broken down into time periods. So all your goals that you write down will have a time period allocated. You know, it'll either be within a year, in a month, within a week, and a day. All right. So also, when you're writing in your map book, you want to write in point form. Okay. So when goals are written in point form, it makes them more precise. When they are too long, they become confusing and there's unnecessary information included in them. So that's why it's just a small space for you to write your goal. It needs to be short and concise. So your goals are written in the present tense as if they are already completed. When writing your goals in present tense, you are telling your mind, your subconscious mind, that it is already completed. This allows you to subconsciously be experiencing the feelings of it being completed while you are reading your map book. That feeling will move you and your body to that frequency to actually attain that feeling, which will feel normal because the feeling is already familiar and it is you. Avoid using per, and, or every day when writing your goals. These are things that we often do when we set our goals. Our aspirations are high, and it's understanding that we want to do more. Although by adding these words, our goals are no longer definitive. Incorrect. I will go for a morning jog every day. What happens if one day is missed? Your goal is no longer valid. So if you go for a jog the first day, and then you go for a jog the second day, and you go for a jog the third day, but the fourth day, something comes up, you're not able to go for that jog. So now that goal is no longer it's not a valid goal anymore. You can't get your check mark in your map, right? Because you missed a day, right? But what if even if you're able to do the other days, you won't do them anymore because you already see that, okay, you're not getting this goal, right? So the correct way is, I will go for a jog 30 times this month. It's the same goal technically, but if you miss a day, you could still make up for that day, right? You could go jog 2 times in a day, or go for 3 jogs in one day, and you can make up for those missed days, right? So now you see that? So you can still account for every day in a month, but if one day is missed, you can still make up for it. Or even if 2 days or 3 days or 4 days are missed. So incorrect. I will eat salad 2 times per week. So what happens if you miss a week? The goal is no longer valid. You will no longer get that check mark, right? So a correct way is, I will eat salad 8 times this month. Same goal. You said 2 times per week, right? But put it in the monthly, right? And put 8 times this month, right? So that's 2, 2, 2, 2. That's 8 times. So instead of saying 2 times per week, if you miss a week, saying 8 times this month, then you could have it more like every day, right? So until you get 8 times. So you could still account for the same goal. Only if a week is missed, you can make up for it. So incorrect. I will buy a new car and new rims. So we see we use and there. I will buy a new car and new rims. So what happens if you get the car but not the rims? Now you cannot get the check mark. And you can't check mark that goal because you have 2 different goals, right? What if you get the rims and not the car? You know, doesn't make sense. Of course, you want to get the car first, right? But put them as 2 separate goals, okay? That's how it's better. Have them as separate goals. You know, buy a new car, and if your next one, buy rims, right? So you can get the check mark for the car, and then the rims one, you could roll it over and get it another time. So always state your goals in a positive. It is important that when you write your goal, you are writing it positively so that you can focus on what you do want, not what you don't want. All right. This is something that a lot of people do verbally. You can hear them all the time. They talk about what they don't want, but technically we have to focus our attention on what we do want. So incorrect. I will lose 10 pounds. Correct. My weight is at 170 pounds. Right? So, you know, you weigh 180, you're in an affirmative. I'm going to weigh 170 pounds. Right? Incorrect. Get out of credit card debt. Right? Correct. My credit card balance is only 1,000. Or, you know, have my credit in a great standing. Right? So you want to stay in a positive. Large to small. The map book, again, as you have it, it's structured so that you will insert your goals in this type of format, right? Larger goals before writing your smaller goals. This is done on purpose because you are aware of what the larger goals are. You see the vision, right? And as you go down to the smaller goals, it is easier to fill them in, knowing what the bigger picture is, right? If you're taking those steps. Tasks are sub-goals. So tasks are also considered as goals. Tasks are great to break down your larger goals. When breaking down a larger goal into tasks, you are piece by piece getting the larger goal completed. By doing this, makes you feel as if anything is attainable as long as you are frequently working towards it. Tasks do not have an intended result to them like a goal. You just need to focus on having them completed. So for example, a large goal will be to buy a new computer, right? So that's something that you would want to attain, right? You want to buy a new computer. So a task could be for you to go online and select 10 different computers. You know, so it's the task that you're doing that's getting you towards that goal, right? And this is a small example that works in every way, right? Do your tasks to get to your larger goal. So tasks are sub-goals. Create accountability. Creating accountability makes it you put pressure upon yourself to have the goal completed on time. When writing a goal, have someone else be aware of what you said you are going to get done. You know, a spouse, a partner, friend, coworker, a wealth creator. You know, as we're networked and you create wealth network. You know, let's communicate. And by notifying someone else, you will feel obligated to get the goal done, especially if you're completing the specific goal that involves that person, right? So if you have a goal, you could go on, like say you want to go to a concert on time and you have 2 tickets. You know, if you notify the second ticket holder, you know, then you will feel accountable to be on time. You know, this is something that we will do subconsciously all the time, but it's because that person is expecting you that you're holding yourself more accountable, right? And as you get in the Create Wealth Network, you'll see we throw challenges out there. And if you want to challenge another member of the Create Wealth Network, challenge them, you know, and that will create more accountability for them, and they can do the same for you. So when we talk about law of completion, we want you to complete everything, you know, and the law of completion, you don't want to leave something hanging. You don't want to leave something in limbo. You want to complete, right? And same thing with you're filling in your map book. When you fill in your map book, completely fill in your map book. All right. So as we see these circles here, you know, we want to go step by step of how to fill in your map book. So first and foremost, if you look in the book, you see the top right, it shows the day number, right? So you want to fill in your day number, right? And then from when you fill in your day number, you're going to write in your goals. So you see that big circle there in the middle, right? So write in your goals. Instead of goals, go back. Remember, you want to go back, refer back to your other larger goals, right? And then if you can't think of what you want to get done in the time, and then as you have your goals filled in, you want to number them. And then we number them as you see in the check boxes. You know, we have them numbered in terms of how we're going to get them done throughout the duration of the day. And then from when we have the number, we go through our day and we're check marking what needs to get check marked. And at the end of the day, we're going to score ourselves. Okay. So we're going to score whatever number we got out of 7. It's our critical 7. Whatever number we got, we want to put in the number that we score ourselves. So let's complete filling in our map book. So critical 7. So, and not only the critical 7, but mainly the critical 7, right? We want to keep the same goals, or do we want to write new ones? Okay, so for the critical 7, both answers are correct. All right, so by keeping the same goals, you are practicing your discipline to commit to whatever you plan for. Rewriting your goals can occur when something which was previously planned and is no longer possible, or if your day has been altered in any way, right? Or if someone else was involved in a goal that you had to get done and then they canceled on you and you can no longer get that goal done because it requires them to be there, right? So in the above case, if that was to happen, you know, then use a whiteout and remove the previous goal that you had in there and insert a new one in for your critical 7, you know, for you to get done in the day. If you still have more time left in the day, if not, keep it, score yourself. But if you do have more time and you can get more tasks done, you can get more check marks, and something what was out of your control was unable to get done, you know, then write in a goal, a new goal for your critical 7. Adding a plus sign after a number. So adding a plus sign after your desired number, a goal is reprogramming your subconscious mind to always be in the affirmative and to always be willing to do more. A common practice in bodybuilding is when working out on your final set, you always push yourself to do one more set or one more rep, sorry. That is, so you want to build that muscle mass. You know, if you have a personal trainer, that's what they'll tell you, one more, and you'll push and you do one more rep. And that will push you're pushing your limits. So over here, by putting a plus sign, what we want to do is want to push our limits, right? We all have a paradigm within us that we are accustomed to, and it is our paradigm which keeps us in the same place, similar to a thermostat. So that's why we want to be in that affirmative and always push ourselves to do more. if you were going to call, or we see this example says call 10 plus clients, right? We see that we should push for 15, right? Or even if we push for 11, we're pushing for more than what we put down. We got our check mark after we do 10, but why not do 5 more? So adding numbers and tick marks to measure your progress. All right. So one very effective practice when setting goals is to add a number amount attached to your goals. By adding a number does not only make it a measurable goal, it also gives you the opportunity to challenge yourself to reach that milestone. Every time you read your map book and review your goals, if any progress is made on your numbered goals, add a tick mark to record that progress. Once you reach your recorded number amount, reward yourself with a check mark. All right. So we look in this image here. It says call 10 plus clients. And as we read our map book, we read our map book 2 times a day, right? As we read our map book, and even when you have your critical 7 open, and it says call your clients 10 days, you have your critical 7 open. As you're calling, you put a tick mark as you call each client, right? And then once you call 10, you check mark, but we have that 10 plus, so push for 1 more, right? A missed day is a missed day, or 0 out of 7. You can only score yourself in your map book if you have actually used it and written in goals for the day. Look at the top right of the page. It shows day number. This is to only be written in if you actually read your map book for the day and at least 1 goal has been written in. If you do not read your map book and this is blank, then there is no score to accumulate because you did not use the book. Some wealth creators in Create Wealth Network do put a 0 out of 7, but they do not put a number in a day. All right. So of course the map book is your tool. So you decide what you want to do. But if you don't read your map book, you shouldn't be counting that day. That day is not counted because you didn't use your map book that day. All right. At the end of your map year, you can review how many days you actually use the map book and reference the results if you feel that you got from this program and if you want to continue using the program, right? So that's why you don't want to record the day if you didn't use the map book, right? So at the end of the year, at the end of your 12 months, you could look back at a map book and see how many days did I actually use this program, right? And then based off that, look at the results that you feel you received from using a book. And that will give you a good determination on whether you feel this book has been effective for you or not. So you want to read your goals frequently. This is the most powerful part of setting goals. By reading them frequently, you are evoking the law of attraction. By putting more and more attention towards it, the molecular structure within your body will make you like this. It must be completed. And whatever is required to get it done will present itself to you. Okay? So as you're reading your goals more and more, it says it will present itself to you. So let's talk about will. Let's talk about the focus. And as you're focusing, everything that is drawn to you, it will be drawn to you because you're reading your goals frequently. So I want you to go through the map book. You know what your wealthy moments, but as you're writing your goals down, if anything, play this module over again. Go through these details. These details really matter, because as you notice the detail, you're really going in and you're keying in on what you want to accomplish, right? This is your mind assistance program. So yes, there's a lot of thinking involved, and that's the main thing. We're conditioning mind. We're building that mind like it's a muscle. And the mind is all through your whole body. So it's emanating in you. And as you put your concentration, you'll be moving towards what your mind is telling you to plug in. So thank you very much. I appreciate you for tuning into this module. And we have more modules for you. We want you to be fully equipped. Again, these are the fundamentals of the map book. All right, the map book was made to be very simple, and it is very simple. But we want you to use it effectively, and that's why these modules are so important for you to go through as you're using your map book. Thank you very much. God bless, and move to the next module.